4 o'clock on your Thursday, and yeah, it's November. Very wintry for November as far as the snow. As a matter of fact, it is a weather impact day here on 9 News. Taking a look outside, you can see traffic's moving along pretty nicely up at the tunnel. The metro area, on the other hand, had a rough morning ride this morning.
Feels like every day this week almost. The snow is stopped right now. We can see it stopped right now here in Denver on the right side of the screen. But hold on, because more is coming. Our weather impact team is tracking the next blast. One place possibly counting their lucky stars, northern Colorado. Places like Greeley and Fort Collins really aren't being hit as much by this system spinning over Colorado. Here's what it looked like in downtown Fort Collins this morning. Really almost completely dry. Squirrels saying, I like the leaves. No problems. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Christensen.
I'm Tom Green. Already, we've seen school closures for tomorrow. That's based on what's to come. You can see those on 9news.com. We'll also get those scrolling at the bottom of your screen as well. Major districts in the metro area, DPS, Jeffco, Aurora, Douglas County, and Cherry Creek have all called it a snow day for tomorrow. Sometimes they like to do that on Fridays. As far as out east, well, travel there still at a standstill. I-70 eastbound, many other highways heading towards Kansas have now been closed for more than 24 hours. And there is more snow on the way, a lot of snow possibly. So this could be an even longer closure well into the weekend for many out there. Corey Reppenhagen has been talking with some truckers who were stuck here in Colorado. He'll have his story for you coming up at about 4:30. Another big closure, we look to the south, I-25 down south to New Mexico, closed from just south of Pueblo all the way down to the border. Today we've learned the name of the young officer who was killed in a crash last night in Golden. The driver accused of hitting him is a professor at the School of Mines. Investigators suspect Stephen Gear was driving under the influence when that crash happened. Today, Golden PD identified the officer as 33-year-old Evan Dunn. He was an Army aviation officer who flew Black Hawk helicopters before becoming a police officer. His family says he was a man of faith who was loyal, steady, and quiet. They say he loved the outdoors and camping and traveling. Court documents say the driver had just left a brewery before that crash. Our Kelly Rinke was in court today, and she's got more details about what happened last night. Kelly.
Kim, this morning, a prosecutor said that crash on Highway 58 could have killed 4 people. Officer Evan Dunn died on the scene, and his chief last night had described him as a husband, a brother, and a son. Another officer on scene, Bethany Grusing, has a face fracture, and a father and daughter were also hurt. Golden police officers were investigating a previous crash that happened before 5 last night just north of downtown Golden at Highway 58 and Washington Avenue. A patrol car was parked behind 2 cars involved in that crash. Court documents note all other cars approaching the previous crash were appropriately moving to the right. Then about 15 minutes later, an arrest affidavit says Gear crashed into one of the parked cars, pinning Dunn. Court documents say Gear told investigators he had 1 beer at Mountain Toad Brewery, which is less than a minute from where this crash happened. Gear told officers he was going eastbound on Highway 58 in the left lane. He noticed yellow flashing lights and tried to stop. Law enforcement officers said they smelled a strong odor of alcohol from Gear, and he took short, shaky steps and swayed slightly during a roadside test. The sheriff's office did complete a blood draw. The daughter who was hurt in this crash suffered a fractured skull and a brain bleed. Her father has a serious cut to his head and his elbow. Gear is a professor of mechanical engineering at the School of Mines. He doesn't have a criminal history, but he is now facing charges of vehicular homicide, DUI, and vehicular assault. Live in Golden, I'm Kelly Rinke, 9 News.
Oh, Kelly, the more we hear, it's the sadder it gets when we think about everything that led up to this series of events that ended so tragically.
Yeah, Kim, these 2 officers, Evan Dunn and Bethany, they were just there helping people who needed some help during a very dark and, during a storm. And unfortunately, this is how it ended. So we're thinking of their families for sure.
Absolutely. And they do that all the time in the winter in Colorado. So thank you. The governor has ordered flags to fly at half-staff to honor Officer Dunn. And there is a memorial for him that is growing in Golden. And 9 News reporter Evan Krugel is live outside of the Golden Police Department. Evan, while there, you had a chance to chat with some of the people who are stopping by paying their respects.
Tom, it certainly has been a somber day here in Golden as people stop by to drop off flowers and cards on a patrol car that's now parked here outside of the Golden Police Headquarters downtown. Just a couple of hours ago, the city did officially identify that officer, as you mentioned, as Evan Dunn, and we are now beginning to learn more about him. They say the 33-year-old was a military veteran who flew Black Hawk helicopters while serving as an Army aviation officer. He was also a captain in the Army National Guard. Now, his family described him as a man of faith. They say he was steady, quiet, and observant, and they say he shared a deep love for the outdoors, camping, and traveling. Today, the community gathered right here to pay their respects to him and thank his family for his service.
What these individuals do is sometimes not always recognized, and I just wanted to pay my respects.
They choose this profession to help people, and every day they go out, they don't know if they're going to go home, and you don't expect it, but when it does happen, it's just horrible.
Officer Dunn leaves behind a wife and a dog, in addition to 2 siblings and his parents. And we did just learn he was fairly new to the police force. He just graduated from the police academy here in Golden a couple of months ago in July. We're told his field training officer, Bethany Grusing, she's the other officer injured in this. Chief Joe Harvey telling us just a few minutes ago, in addition to her serious injuries, she has a, quote, broken heart as well. We're live in Golden. Evan Krugel, 9 News.
Well, many people thinking of all the victims involved, including Grusing and, of course, the family of Evan Dunn as well. Thanks, Evan. Well, as we head outside, there is a brief break right now from the snow. The snow this morning was a bit of a surprise, but the big storm's coming.
Yeah, the bulk of it, so to speak, and it's coming on a Friday into a Saturday, Kathy.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's so snow weary, you guys. And it's super hard to time these bands. Like, we really thought we were going to get the break this morning, and the break from the snow came right after lunchtime, and thankfully is still ongoing as we're getting the evening drive underway. But the storm responsible for the snow every day this week is the one that is going to move in tomorrow, and that's the one that's going to bring the heavy round of snow in about 24 hours. So we have a weather impact day today, tomorrow, and for part of the day Saturday, because travel's still very tough. We're expecting more snow tonight. Roads are slick and snow-packed. We expect additional heavy snow in Denver going under a winter storm warning tomorrow. And we've been monitoring the travel in and out of the high country with periodic road closures as well. So while it looks sunny out there and the blue sky and so nice as evening drive is starting, don't be fooled. And plus, the roads that are wet are going to be black ice like they were last night. So many of you reaching out and talking to me about the black ice experiences you had. That will be ongoing tonight and tomorrow morning as temperatures stay below freezing, and that's where they've been all day today. Haven't seen the whiteout conditions. Our Corey Reppenhagen is out on the plains where they've been talking about blowing and drifting. In Elbert County, in Washington County, in Lincoln County, this will be a historic snow event for 3 to 4 feet of snow. And areas like Lyman already kind of closed down, dealing with difficult travel. I'm going to double those amounts in those areas. So livestock managers or anybody else who's out and about in that part of our state, be mindful. We're going to have the timing and impact coming up in just a few minutes.
Of course, with that snow still coming, people experiencing homelessness need to find a place to stay. For some, it got a little harder after the recent closing of the Severe Weather Shelter Network.
The nonprofit-operated shelters in Jefferson and Arapahoe counties. 9 News reporter Jaleesa Rosari introduces us to one church now filling the need.
Mother Nature can be relentless. But at this Arvada church, snow isn't the only thing piling up.
No, it's not.
Jeff Cruz will rack up another night at Mission Arvada, a new overnight shelter that stepped up when the Severe Weather Shelter Network closed down.
Rather than being out there in the elements, being in here, it's priceless, really, because you're warm. You don't have to worry about anything. So it's really a great thing, actually.
Cruz knows how bad it can get out there.
Well,
so does Karen Cowling.
We've seen firsthand, even in our day shelter through the years, how dangerous the cold is. I mean, we've had people lose feet and fingers and toes, and so that kind of catalyzed us.
Cowling is the director of Mission Arvada. She says this is the first time they will be the only shelter for northern Jefferson County. They welcomed 35 people on their first night, a big responsibility that comes with even bigger expenses.
Absolutely. This much of it especially, just not stopping.
So yeah, here's a boiler named Fred. Came in yesterday to some flooding. Yeah, we're just trying to do what we can to even Band-Aid fixes to just keep the building warm. So
Jared Irwin is the pastor of this church. He knows how costly running a shelter can be. He also knows how priceless it is.
I was homeless myself, actually, as a young adult a couple of different times. You know, wouldn't be here if I wouldn't have received help.
Help is sometimes all someone can give.
I'm very grateful, yeah.
When life piles up, often that's all people need.
I would say definitely they're saving lives, yeah, no doubt about it.
Mission Arvada says they will open their overnight shelter anytime it drops below 20 degrees or if there is 6 inches of snow. They say they were near capacity last night. They expect more people this evening. Reporting in Arvada, Jaleesa Rosari, 9 News.
Jaleesa, we know those numbers are going to go up through the weekend, no doubt. So they have to be prepared to be there for the long haul.
Yeah, exactly. And there is a lot of people that were there today in the day shelter as well. And we asked them, one of the gentlemen there, where would they be if they didn't have this place overnight? And he said he would be sleeping inside a vestibule at a post office.
Oh my goodness. All right. Thank you, Jaleesa. Denver's annual Veterans Day parade will be impacted possibly by the snow. It is supposed to happen Saturday. It always happens a Saturday before Veterans Day. It's at City Park. Our weather impact team is calling for an impact weather day on Saturday. Organizers say they're keeping an eye on the forecast, so they'll keep everybody posted on updates and changes tomorrow afternoon.
Well, they keep counting votes. 2 days after Election Day, we are still watching the most talked about race in Colorado. In Congressional District 8, incumbent Yadira Caraveo still holds a lead. You can see the lead there, just about 2,000, somewhere in there. Those numbers are really small. I can't read them. But anyway, they're still adding them up, and we keep counting them up and waiting for more. We're expecting more votes from Weld County tonight at 5 o'clock. As far as the Colorado legislature, Democrats will not gain a supermajority in the state Senate. A supermajority requires a party to have 2/3 or more of the seats. Democrats have 20 seats, with 3 races still too close to call. Winning those would match their pre-election total of 23, just 1 seat shy of that supermajority. In the House, Democrats did hold a supermajority before the election with 46 seats. Right now, they have won 39 seats, but there are 8 still to be called. They'd need to win at least 5 of those to maintain a supermajority.